Happy greetings to all. I am Nithish of grade 9C from ACHARIYA MANDIR, IIT JIPMER campus, Thengaithittu. Today I am going to do a PPT in the politics chapter 2, People's Democracy. In that I am going to do the education part. The states of education in India, challenges and opportunities. The presentation critically analyzes the current landscape of education in India, examining key trends. Dictating public expenditure on education. Despite the critical role of education in national development, public expenditure on education in India has been concerning decline, as estimated in the public budget documents of union and state governments and the Reserve Bank of India. The expenditure on education as per the GDP fell to at very 2.7% in 2017 to 18. You can see the graph over there. It shows how the budget has been increased or decreased by the 2017 and 18. Study rise in literacy rates. India has made significant strides in the increasing its literacy since independence from 1957. From the mere 18% in 1951, the national literacy rates dramatically improved 74% by the 2010 by 11. This progress underscores the positive impact of various government initiatives and public awareness campaigns aimed to promote education. Persistent disparities in literacy. Despite the overall improvement, vast disparities in literacy rates persist across the sections and population. These inequalities highlights deep-seated social and economic challenges that continue to affect the education access to the attained in India. Gender gap. Literacy among males is nearly 16.6% higher than the females. You can see that most of the rural areas has 16.16% more males compared to the females, reflecting this persistent gender equality in education opportunities and social expectations. Urban-rural divide. Literacy in urban areas is approximately 16.1% highly compared to the rural areas, indicating a disparity in relocation, allocation, and infrastructure development. India has made sustainable progress in expanding its primary school infrastructure. You can see that many of the rural areas now they are following the primary school system. The number of primary schools has grown significantly, reaching over 8,58,000 by the 2013 and 2014. Aims to ensure all the children have to get education in underserved areas, bringing school to closer to their communities. Challenges: poor quality and high dropout rates. Subpar educational quality. Many schools, particularly in the rural areas, suffer an inadequate infrastructure like lack of trained teachers. You can see that most of the rural areas doesn't have the trained teachers. Outdated curriculum comparing to our curriculum, their curriculum such a different, such a outdated one, and insufficient learning resources, and they are not having such a learning resources like the labs like that. And also these cause of problems. This leads to poor learning outcomes, where students may complete primary education without acquiring fundamental literacy and numerical rates. Persistent dropout issues. High dropout rates, especially at the secondary level, are driven by the various socio-economic factors such as poverty, the need of children to contribute the household income, lack of parental awareness, and perceived low value of education and due to poor quality. Key takeaways to pop and forward path. India's educational journey presents a paradox of significant expansion alongside critical challenges. The data clearly indicates a need of the strategic intervention to realize the full potential of the democracy divided. Increase public investment. Reverse the trend of education declining expenditure to allocate at least 6% of the GDP to education as recommended by the various national policies and strengthen infrastructure, teachers training and resources. Enhancing quality and relevance. Focus on improving pedagogical practices, curriculum modernization, and teacher professional development to ensure that education leads to meaningful learning outcomes and prepares for students with the future challenges. Bringing disparities. Implement targeted programs and policies that have added gender, rural, and regional disparities in literacy and educational attainment, ensuring all adequate for all. SIKSHA Abhiyan. SIKSHA Abhiyan (SSA) is an Indian flagship program launched in 2001 to achieve universal elementary education. It emphasizes the time-bound approach to providing equality education for all children 16 to 14. ensuring access, getting all the children into school, especially in the rural areas. You can see that most of the children in the rural areas doesn't go to school because of the poverty and also not a good education. Enhancing quality, improving teachers' training, curriculum, and learning materials. Promoting equity, bringing disparities of girls and disadvantaged groups. Conclusion: empowering India's future through education. India's educational landscape, while expanding, faces critical challenges in funding, quality, and access. Realizing its demographic demand hinges on strategic, sustained interventions that empower every child into the quality learning. Strategic investment, quality transforming, inclusive growth. And these are the conclusion of this PPT. Thank you and love you all.